Mama, what do you mean, where is the money?
What money, Efe?
The money I sent home every month for 6 years.
Everybody here knows you sent nothing. And now you come back claiming you sent something, you lie.
But why would you say this? So all my struggles were in vain?
Stop lying. You've come back only to cause trouble. You left for years and didn't even send anything to us.
No, Mama, I sent money every month. Something is wrong here, and I'm going to find out what it is.
For 6 years, Efe worked as a cleaner in Lagos, scrubbing floors that were never hers, saving every naira like it was blood from her own body. Every single month, without missing one, she sent money home. School fees, hospital bills, roofing sheets after a storm tore half the roof away. When her employer finally sold the house and let her go, Efe packed her bag with a heart full of joy. She was going home, not rich but proud. The bus dropped her at the junction as the sky turned orange, the smell of roasting corn drifting from the roadside. Her chest was tight with excitement. But the moment she pushed open the roasted gate, something felt wrong. Her mother sat on the veranda with folded arms, her face hard as stone. Her brother Kelvin, now 17 and taller than she remembered, stood beside their mother, refusing to meet her eyes.
Uncle Patrick leaned against the wall nearby, a toothpick between his teeth, watching her the way a hawk watches a chick. "Where's our money?"
Efe laughed, thinking it was a strange joke. "Mama, I sent money every month. You know this."
"We never received anything, Efe. Not 1 naira.
For 6 years, you left us here to suffer, and now you come back with lies on your tongue? Uncle Patrick, everybody in this compound will tell you, no money from Lagos, no message, nothing. Tell us the truth. Where do you hide it?"
Efe's knees went weak. 6 years of skipping meals to send an extra few thousand naira, of crying alone in a small room, all of it standing here now, being called a lie. She looked at Kelvin, the brother whose school fees she had paid with her own sweat. He looked away. That was the moment Efe knew something was very wrong in this house, and she was going to find out exactly what. That night, Efe lay awake on her old mattress, replaying 6 years of transfers in her mind, every bank alert, every queue in the Lagos sun. She remembered calling home every time to confirm, and her mother's voice always answering the same way. "Yes, Efe, we got it. God bless you, my daughter." The next morning, Efe woke to voices arguing quietly behind the water tank. She peeked through the window and caught one chilling phrase. Uncle Patrick whispering, "Before she starts asking for the passbook." Efe's chest tightened. There had been a savings passbook years ago before she left for Lagos. Her mother's idea to keep the money safe and growing. In the kitchen, she asked her mother carefully about the account book. Mama Rose's hand froze over the frying pan for just 1 second. Mama Rose said, "What account book? Efe, are you confusing yourself? There was never any account." Efe smiled and let it go for now. But her eyes had already moved to Kelvin, standing quietly by the door, gripping his phone like it held a secret. That evening, Efe found him sitting alone under the old mango tree where they used to play as children. "I paid your exam fees myself. I remember the exact month. Do you remember getting new textbooks, new sandals?" "I did not get new textbooks that time, sister. I wore torn sandals to write my exams. I begged my classmates' mother for the fees." Sometimes, when the alerts came to Mama's phone, Uncle Patrick would say, "The money has entered. Come and collect your own before the children start asking questions." Efe's heart pounded. "Are you telling me Uncle Patrick has been taking my money?" Kelvin nodded, then shook his head in panic. "Kelvin, please don't tell them I said anything, sister. Uncle Patrick said if anyone talks, he will make sure I never finish school." Footsteps crunched through dry leaves behind them. Uncle Patrick stood there, arms folded, a slow, dangerous smile spreading across his face. Uncle Patrick said, "What are you two discussing so seriously? Efe, be careful the kind of poison you pour into this boy's ear. Some doors, once you open them, you can never close again." It was not advice, it was a warning. Efe finally understood exactly what she was facing. Efe did not sleep again that night. By morning, she had made up her mind. If her family would not tell her the truth, the bank would. She dressed simply and took a bike into town. Inside the cool, quiet banking hall, she approached the desk with shaking hands. "I need to find out about an account under my mother's name." The clerk typed quietly, then looked up. "Ma, this account is still active. Would you like a statement?" Active? Her mother had said there was no account. Her uncle had said she was confused, and yet here it was, alive, breathing with 6 years of her labor. Outside, on a bench under a tree, her hands trembling, she read line after line, every deposit exactly as she remembered. And then she saw the withdrawals.
Almost every deposit had been withdrawn within days, sometimes hours, transferred again and again to the very same unfamiliar account number. Using a stranger's phone and a banking app, Efe finally saw the name attached to that account, Patrick Okoro, her uncle. Efe folded the statement carefully and tucked it against her body like a weapon. If they wanted a fight, she would give them one. That evening, the family gathered for dinner as they always had. Pounded yam, egusi soup, her mother making small talk as though nothing was wrong. Efe let the small talk breathe. Then quietly, she placed the folded bank statement beside her soup bowl and said nothing. Silence fell over the room. Uncle Patrick's laughter died in his throat. Efe, open it, Mama. Read it yourself since you insist there was never any account. Mama Rose's eyes scanned the lines, her face draining of color as she reached the withdrawal history.
Mama Rose, Patrick, you told me the money had finished on hospital bills. You told me your business failed. What is this? She had not orchestrated it. She had been lied to as well. Comfortable lies that let her sleep at night while her own daughter suffered alone in Lagos. Uncle Patrick, this girl has come from Lagos to cause confusion. Bank statements can be fabricated. But Kelvin suddenly stood between them, his voice trembling but firm.
Leave my sister alone, Uncle. I heard you telling Mama's line to collect your own whenever an alert entered. I am not afraid anymore.
Mama Rose stared at her brother, the man she had trusted, the man who let her believe her own daughter had abandoned her. Get out of my house, Patrick. Get out before I do something I cannot take back. Cornered, Uncle Patrick finally admitted it. 6 years of deposits redirected into his account, spent on a car, on debt, on a life no one in that house knew anything about.
The next morning, before the sun had fully risen, Ife walked to the small police post near the market, her statement and receipts folded in a bag against her chest. A stern-faced officer named Officer Ngozi listened to her story without interrupting, sliding the documents carefully into a file. Officer Ngozi said, "This happens more than people know. Family members stealing from those working hard abroad or in Lagos or wherever they've gone to suffer for a better life." Word moved fast through the small town. By afternoon, Uncle Patrick had been invited to the station for questioning. Faced with the bank statement and Kelvin's willingness to testify, his resistance finally crumbled completely. He was formally charged with theft. The court ordered him to repay what could still be recovered, and the whole town learned exactly what he had done. The comfortable life he had built on 6 years of his sister's daughter's sweat collapsed entirely in front of the same neighbors who once respected him. In the weeks that followed, Efe's relationship with her mother slowly began to heal. Not instantly, but honestly, once the lies between them were finally gone.
Mama Rose held her daughter's hands one evening and said the words she had needed to say for a long time. "I am sorry I doubted you before I doubted him." Kelvin, no longer afraid, sat proudly beside his sister most evenings now, the fear that once lived behind his eyes finally gone. With the money that was recovered and what she had carefully saved herself, Efe made sure Kelvin finished school properly this time. New books, new sandals, nothing borrowed or begged for. She used the rest to open a small provision shop of her own in town, something that finally belonged to her, built on sweat that was hers to keep. 6 years of sacrifice had finally found its way home, not through the family she had trusted blindly, but through the truth she refused to stop chasing.